We are live, coming live from the studios in Darlington, Streamspace, with myself, Adam Walker, and across... Oh, I went a bit operatic. And across the table from me is...
Hello, Adam.
Who? No, hang on. Where's Andy gone?
Welcome. Happy New Year, my friend.
Happy New Year. Sorry.
2025.
I haven't sent that message. Right,
oh, are we? Busy.
Oh, mate, honestly. 2025, episode 67. And I'm starting to go, we're getting a bit long in the tooth with our episode numbers. I am happy.
I'm already, this week, I'm already ready for the weekend.
You're
ready.
You're already ready.
Yes, I'm already ready for the weekend. It's been ridiculous.
So, although this will date it, how was your Christmas period?
Fabulous, my friend. We were having lots of family over. So James and Liz came over from Austria on the Christmas Eve.
Oh, that is very movie script-esque, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I said if they met anybody on the plane, Captain Stewart or John McClane, do not get on the plane.
Yeah.
Die
I'll
hard.
go to their hotel.
Exactly. So that was fabulous. Hopefully you'll have seen the lovely Christmas meal photos on Facebook.
Man.
It was a 7-course extravaganza.
If the Reeds did food.
Oh, my Lord.
Mate, the standard.
I know.
It's a high coming out of your household is...
She's a wonderful lady. She really is. Hence why my expanding waistline.
You say that, but you've been decreasing.
I have been decreasing.
You've had your indulgence, and I think it's fantastic. Yeah. But I must say, because I was going to come on to that, the level, if you were like, Adam, come and photograph the food, I'm like, that was restaurant quality food.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I could make flyers and leaflets and videos of just all of it. And they'd be like, where's that? And I'd be like, Andy's house.
Yes, absolutely.
It looked incredible.
It was pretty good, my friend. And then she excelled herself again, she being my lovely wife, Michelle, on Boxing Day. We had the whole family around, so that was really nice. That was the whole Reeds, my son, Dan.
My favourite bit of everything you've said,
yeah.
right, is... and this is off air to me, is you were like, yes, we've got, is it 7 courses? You said 7 courses. But when you're taking me through it, we've got the cheese course. It's the fact you've got a dedicated course to cheese. And I think every meal needs a cheese course.
No, absolutely. Oh. Exciting news.
Oh, dear.
On Christmas Day, my son, Dan Reed, proposed to Hannah.
No way.
Yes.
Oh, fantastic. I'll have to I haven't seen him yet, actually.
He did
so
he was absolutely perfect. They were sat in the front room and he basically went, how many presents? Oh, I'm an idiot. I've forgotten one present. And she was like, oh, God damn. Oh, and he ran upstairs, grabbed the ring and came into the kitchen and called her through. And he was on one knee and he proposed.
Oh, mate, your household was a movie set.
It was unbelievable. Wow. How about yours? Because you were, and I say this respectfully, you were ready to switch off.
If you look at the last episode...
You were a bit white.
I was a bit white, wasn't I? I was very pale. So, for those that don't know, Jill, my mum, who works in the business, she's been unwell. Yes. And before Christmas, I was dealing with that, and that's why I was missing from a lot of the podcasts.
Yeah.
Because I was... obviously supporting her, supporting my family.
As you should do.
And then, with all of that going on, I then got absolutely blindsided by the most horrendous flu.
You did.
I spent 4 days in bed. I've never been so ill in a long time.
Yeah.
And then I did that last episode because I felt a duty to yourself, sir.
Thank you.
But I was absolutely... I said it myself. I'm just absolutely...
After the podcast, you went, I'm going home.
I'm absolutely exhausted. So, do you know what? It was obviously a challenging Christmas, a different Christmas for us, because my mum is an absolutely formidable family, head of the family, driving things on. And obviously, she was in hospital over Christmas, but we've done all the visiting and this, that, and the other, and made the best of the situation.
Absolutely right, mate.
And I've rested.
You came in the other day like a breath of fresh air.
I know, I bet I was, compared to what you presented with.
It was. I laughed like hell. Oh, sorry, Michelle laughed like hell because as you went away, she went, oh, doesn't it look great? I went, do you know what? He went home after the podcast, press Control, Alt, Delete, reset himself, and now look at him.
Yeah, it was. It actually took me a week to kind of kick it in.
Gosh.
And then just being around family, visiting mum and getting out and doing things just slowly, not to a level that's like jam-packed full, bit of exercise in there as well. And I've just managed to get the balance back and yeah, I'm feeling like Adam again.
Well,
so
you look like
whilst
it.
we have challenges, obviously with my mum, I'm ready to go again. Basically,
No, God bless you,
So
my
give me
friend.
6 weeks until I look white again. But no, it's been all things considered, it's been a lovely Christmas.
It has. And as I say, you came in that other day and I went, wow, he's back. Adam's back.
He's back. And do you know what? First week back has been, yes, chaotic, because everyone comes back down there. As, as in your room talking about work the other day. And we've had, I was immediately out to a job in Sedgefield on Wednesday, taking photos. I was doing headshots on the morning and photographing campaign on Monday.
Yeah.
I've got meetings all day today because some of that's just steadying.
Yes,
either
of
steadying
course.
the ship or going, what are we doing now? Where are we up to? What are we doing in the next few months? And we've also been doing that internally for us.
Yeah. Well, two things I would like to, one thing to say and one thing to ask.
Yeah.
I came in on Tuesday to a lovely email, which was from one of my customers, who is Michelle, lovely Michelle from Resurrected Bites. They run a lovely charity in Harrogate.
Oh.
And it was a lovely email going, Andy, please meet Sarah, who's another charity runner, another owner of a charity. I have sang your praises. Please give her a call. And I thought, fantastic. So I gave this young, lovely lady a call, Sarah, and I won't bore you with the details, but basically at the end of it, she basically said, if you've got a reference for Michelle, because I know Michelle personally, basically you've won the deal. We've got to do our due diligence. But she went, you came so highly recommended, and that is very unlike Michelle type thing. And I was like, oh, that's very, very kind. She went, no, take it from me. Word of mouth recommendation, she says, is absolutely perfect.
So there's another thing that I need to lean into.
Is that the one that I'm about to come on to about
Probably.
the podcast and LinkedIn thing?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
I'll let you take that one.
Well, I'll let you go into the detail, but essentially we had a quick chat before Christmas, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think. In my haze. I think it was. We had a quick chat before Christmas and you said, I've just had the term, I need an Andy.
Yes.
Is that what we're...
I was doing another one.
Oh, right.
So
but you told me before Christmas, someone came up to you and went, I need an Andy. And we know where we've said that, because I say all the time,
absolutely,
you need an Andy.
So that was lovely Sam Shotton from Sorted by Sam. She was passed on by Catherine.
Yeah.
MSG Elevate. But the one that I was going to say about LinkedIn was that didn't you have a message on the Resilience LinkedIn page?
Yes, I did, yes.
So I will hand that over to you now.
Yeah. So I was I was actually in LinkedIn and just sort of checking in and looking and doing engagement. I actually do probably more engagement on other people's things than I do
on your own.
necessarily putting out my own content all the time, because I don't want to be like, hey, look at me. We've got the companies doing the marketing stuff, and I'll just do share nice news.
Absolutely.
So we had a message through your LinkedIn page, which was about a request to come on the pod. We love listening to the podcast, so that means we've got 4, maybe 5. Because obviously the person getting in touch was We Love, and it was for a colleague.
Yes.
So I was like, brilliant. So actually, if you're listening to this and you did get in touch with us on LinkedIn, I messaged Andy because I picked up the message. I signed off Adam and Andy.
Yay!
But I did Teams somebody a chat message going, so when are you available next week? Any answer yet, Andy?
No.
So the reason why I haven't answered you is because of him.
I have literally
But believe
no
time.
He's
He's actually a decent bloke, and everyone does need an Andy. So
exactly. But that was
so we've had a
great
request to come on the podcast, and we'll absolutely look at that.
At the end of this podcast, I'll have a quick look.
We'll look, and it's just okay because we're going to do a Teams call first to have a quick chat. Just doesn't need to be too long. But it's been. Do you know what? A great week back. Team are doing amazing. Alina and Adam have been busy doing social media content, and I've got a blog going live today, which I don't think Adam will have had a chance to see yet. It's called Chessboards and Bowler Hats, because that's kind of how my week has gone.
Oh, sorry, can I ask a question? Alina, how did the house move go? Yay! Thumbs up.
Yeah, she is a home owner.
Over Christmas moved in.
I know.
Yeah, exciting stuff.
Exactly. What did she get? She got a house.
I was going to say. How did he wrap that?
yeah. Just a bow on the door, I imagine.
Not sure.
Wrap the keys.
Yes, wrap the key. There we go.
So do you know what? It's great to be back. Feeling re-energized. Really excited for 2025. Really excited for what we're going to do with the podcast in 2025.
Yes.
Already been having. In fact, I was speaking to Mr. Jason Gurney the other day about podcasting.
Mr. Jason, I love him. You know.
Yeah. Normally you say
no.
All right,
I love him.
If you're not watching, he's
no, I don't.
whispering. I don't know whether you
Love you, Jason.
Yeah, we do love Jason. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
So yeah, right. And then today we were going right. What are we going to talk about today? And I was like, I know just the thing to talk about. And we've kind of skirted around it in a couple, but even this morning, right? Because sometimes I do a bit of passive listening. So I might put it, in this case, it was YouTube, and I've got something playing about, I don't know, running a business or doing whatever. Like it could be a technology thing, just trying to do a bit of learning while I'm making my breakfast. So instead of listening to the radio, I was listening to that. And do you know what I get served ads for the most? AI.
Gary, is Gary around?
Gary AI.
Gary AI.
Gary AI is our own AI person that we made up. But in terms of it, at the moment, what I'm doing is I'm getting absolutely bombarded with AI. Are you using AI? I'm being they're trying to sell me courses about learning AI.
Yeah.
And it's like an advert with loads of apps on it. And I think the problem is there is a bit of a disconnect with how the hell do you use AI?
100%.
So I use ChatGPT, for example, as most people will have now. And someone who didn't know about it, I got them to, they were like, what does it do? I was like, right, well, let's make a story.
Yeah.
So we created a story about a space frog that likes pizza.
Nice.
Right?
I like pizza. I like space. I like frogs.
Yeah, exactly. But that's not how you use AI in business.
Okay,
and we've already talked about the job application process I had.
Don't mention it because it's in here.
Okay, cool. So that's good because Andy's pointing at a sheet of paper if you're listening.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, okay, everyone's talking about AI. Everyone's saying that we should be using AI.
Who's actually using it?
Who's actually using it? Some people are calling things AI that aren't AI.
Correct.
Because it's just, if this has that, send that.
Yeah.
Now, that's not AI. That's
logic.
Programming logic. Yeah. Excuse me.
It's called if, then, this, that.
If, then, this, that. Yeah, exactly. If sandwich, apply to face.
Yes.
That's logic.
You were logic.
Exactly. So I'm like, there's a load of noise around AI. Everyone's saying that you should do it. And I think a lot of people might feel that they're getting left behind. But in truth, no one's necessarily publicly putting the finger on. You know, we're getting these ads about how to learn AI, how to train AI, how to use this. But I think people don't understand, A, how they can implement it outside of creating a story about a space frog that eats pizza or something to that, or creating a thing for, I don't know, blog.
Yeah.
And the other thing, and I've got some more thoughts to come on to.
Good.
But I am wondering, and what I said to you is, what is AI in 2025 for us? And are we actually going to see developments on how we actually use it and implement it to the point we're actually using it and implementing it? But what does that look like?
Yeah. So the biggest question that I had in 2024 from my customers is, how do I use AI? Not what is AI. They know what it is. It's like, how do I use it in my business?
Yeah.
And I believe last year I started to get into that and I couldn't genuinely give people the answer. I was like, do you know what? I'll be honest, I'm not 100% certain. I know what it can do. Mm-hmm. I know how I can use it. I use it personally. I use it today. But I felt as though I hadn't used it enough in my day-to-day job to give a clear answer. Whereas I believe this month, January, February, March, I will be able to do that. I've got 3 or 4 meetings lined up, and I've been doing a lot of work. And downtime over Christmas, I started to play, but it was enjoyable play. And today, I've wrote down what I believe is and where we should go as companies and start to use it.
Yeah, so it's focused on like our small business level, because it's easy to look at the big.
Correct.
And you've got company names on there, but the big things, and you're going, all right, well, that's all well and good for them. They've got hundreds of people and millions.
Yeah, but how do people like you, me, use it in their day-to-day?
What does it look like?
Correct. But yeah, I just wanted to tell you that basically from the other blue chip companies, doing a bit of research early this morning, it's coming. So this year, just to try and give you some indication, you will probably know who NVIDIA are.
I do indeed.
You do indeed.
Like a graphics card.
Graphics cards for lots and lots of good graphics people. But basically, they are investing $870 million in AI. Earlier on, we've now got Gaming NVIDIA have just announced the RTX 50 range graphics cards that are designed to power AI applications and experiences. They are used in gaming, creative workflows and productivity. I'll come on to that into a minute.
I didn't know that is, because I haven't actually read up. I know they've been announced and they've got. I haven't actually seen any, because I normally watch. And in fact, good plug if you're ever looking at tech and new technology and emerging tech, Linus Tech Tips.
Oh yeah, he's a wonderful guy.
Fantastic,
exactly.
I love it. And I'm pretty sure I saw a video pop up the other day. I just haven't had a chance.
Yeah,
but I didn't realise that the AI thing is part of that. But then here's a question for me, right? Straight away, first version you've given me, gaming NVIDIA just announced the RTX 50 range graphics card designed to power AI applications, right?
Yeah.
Now, that sounds great, but I'm equally reading that going, that is a little bit marketing speak.
It is, and that's obviously direct from their product webpage.
Yeah.
In action, looking at all the YouTube, because obviously I go to these, I watch the events afterwards on YouTube. And basically, bottom line is what they are saying is, if you think about it, when you're playing a graphics game, so Helldivers, our friend Carl.
Yep.
When they utilise the graphics card...
That's Hell Let Loose, that one.
Sorry, I apologise. Hell Let Loose. It's you that plays Helldivers.
I do play.
Yeah. But when you think about... Well, let's take your Helldivers. When you are looking at a particular scene...
Yes.
Okay? You are only looking at what's in front of you, the field of view, as they call it.
Yeah.
Okay? What's going on to the left of you, even though things are going on to the left of you, like, do you play multiplayer, Helldivers?
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of your colleagues is doing something, but you don't see that. Okay? What NVIDIA is saying is they are using AI to generate the things that you can't see in readiness, that when you flick your mouse, and how quick do you flick it in Helldivers?
Very quickly.
Very quick.
Normally screaming and closing your eyes at the same time.
Absolutely. But do you ever notice that the image or whatever it is not there?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, it's subtle. Some people will go, "What do you mean?"
Yeah,
because it's quick. But if you know what you're looking for, yes.
Correct. Yeah. What they're also saying is that. They are saying that they will help generate that. In terms of graphics, in terms of the eye, because they know what the eye can see, they have the ability to go, well, you're not quite looking at that head on, so I don't need to make it as sharp as you would necessarily need to, which means I can focus on your field of view, your point of view.
Caching the data, so it's already there.
Also, what they're saying is that in graphics games, so again, within Helldivers, are you playing against a person or are you playing against other enemies?
Yeah.
The enemies will use AI to generate how to attack you. They will begin to learn if you are a stealth person, if you are a hell on, I'm going in crazy nuts. They will adapt to how you react, and the game will subtly adapt to how you react. They will be more aware of stealth. They will be more aware of a hell on front attack. So really clever in terms of what it's doing.
So there's great answers and all of that. So obviously it's responsive.
Yeah.
It's doing it. I think while we're on the gaming side, I was watching I'm obsessed with chess.
You are. You had that before. You saying you were playing on the train.
I'm terrible.
Are you really?
Yeah, I'm really rubbish. Hence why we've got a chessboard, because what we're going to do is we're going to use we're doing a stream thing in here just to show the flexibility. And I thought it could be a cool little idea for a little interview thing that you do. Both
checkmate. Right, see you later.
Well, that would happen to me. But I've been trying to do it anyway. There's this video that I was watching, because I'm like, I've been playing. I just keep my ranking on chess.com's up, and then it's down, up, down, up, down, up, down, and progressively you just gotta, So I'm trying to learn. I am. It's something good outside to interest,
the brain.
Yeah, but there was a good thing that Gotham Chess did with Wired, and they had the guy from Microsoft who worked on a AI chess modeling.
Yep.
But the idea is it's because rather than just a chess thing, computing the calculations on the board, because it's very mathematical chess in terms of coordinates.
Of course,
Instead of doing that, it's analysing the human games.
Yeah.
And then what they've tried to do is model the AI based on what a human would do in that situation.
Correct.
And I just think it's that.
Yeah.
And that to me is what AI is kind of about.
Yes.
Rather than and ChatGPT's got its place, but
oh yeah, definitely.
Pizza frog, pizza frog in a box.
I must do about that. What I do want you to try and work out, my friend, is that NVIDIA is 870 million. The next person up was Amazon, 8 billion.
That's quite a leap, isn't
That's
it?
it's a frog leap.
Terrible.
Pizza
Terrible.
fog leak.
Terrible. But
Okay.
but if you look at the scale of companies, I suppose as well, it kind of makes sense.
No, it does.
Like
it does make
Nvidia are
sense.
big.
Nvidia are big, but not as big as Amazon.
Yeah.
And then you go, I'll just keep rattling through these.
Yeah.
Meta, 38 billion. Microsoft, 80 billion.
Now, I'll be honest. I'm surprised Microsoft are ahead of Meta. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
With
Microsoft
all the
bigger
stuff
company
that
than Meta.
did- Yeah, true.
Yeah. And then Google, 100 billion investment.
Which I find slightly scary, depending on how it's applied. Because
I'll come on to that.
Yeah. Okay. I'll leave that then.
Yeah, I'll come on to that. Okay. Let's go back to basics, my friend. AI, how will it affect you, Adam Walker, business owner of HubSpot? How will it do that? Basically, I read about an hour's worth of stuff this morning, and I condensed it into what you see on this page. But what I've taken away from it is by enabling AI to amplify human roles as opposed to replace them.
Yep.
Okay? Because if you think about it, I'll stop there. If you think about it, a lot of people will take the AI, and then suddenly jump to Skynet.
Could I just jump in for a little social media hook right here?
Yes, sir.
The robots are coming.
That's the one.
There we go. That's our hook, Alina.
Definitely.
By the way, if you want to know what a hook is, that's it there.
That's it, hook.
But then we can cut back to this next bit.
Yeah, but do you know what I mean?
But that's what people, the thing is Terminator.
100 absolutely.
Yeah.
Skynet's coming.
Skynet's
I'm going to be replaced.
Terminator, yeah, that's what. And and then they're going to kill us.
Okay, fine.
It leaps
This
very
is the
quickly.
last podcast in this episode.
It leaps very quickly, though.
It does, and that's what I'm saying. But no, it's opposed to, it will amplify the human roles as opposed to replace them. Companies will be able to alleviate workloads from mundane tasks so people can focus on the bigger picture priorities, such as driving innovation, cultural growth, addressing more complex challenges. But basically, they will see, or users will see, you will see, Adam,
Yep.
you will see a better ability to the mundane tasks that you do. Okay, so I don't know, and I know I do come on to this, funnily enough, in terms of CVs, but ability to do a mundane job like you do, you and me, a business owner, we do accounts. Oh my gosh. It's like mundane stuff.
I paid my 2020, I could have been in a very bad mood. My 2025 started off with the VAT return and bill.
Yeah, mine did as well.
That was Monday.
Yeah, that was Monday, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a mundane Monday.
Yeah, exactly.
But do you know what I mean, my friend? You could use AI in terms of focus. And again, I'm not trying to, how can I put this? As a business owner, you focus on, let's say, Resilient owe you £100. Yeah. Let's say company B owes you £500. You're going to concentrate on company B first, recovering that money.
Yep.
Yeah. You could use AI to say, out of all of my outstanding debts, who's the largest amount and who should I be chasing first? Saves you going, well, that's Resilient owe me 100, that company owes me 500, that company owes me 600. You could simply type into your AI accounting coffer, who do I concentrate on this morning?
Yeah.
Okay?
Makes sense.
Makes sense.
And it'll, because that isn't, because some of it can sound like logic. Some of it can.
Yes.
But what I think you're touching on, and is the thing that you've been using on this, kind of, we can touch on.
Yeah, touch on it, please.
Yeah, so the example is Andy's been using Copilot.
I have.
Which is an offshoot of, well, not an offshoot, it's part of Microsoft. It's part of the Office, well, you can get it for Office 365 as a bolt-on, isn't it?
Correct,
How much a year?
200-ish, 300-ish.
2 to 300 quid, 2 to 350, whatever it is. So you can have that in place. So the way Andy's used it, and if we just come away from the debtors for a second, Andy can write in Copilot, tell me about the latest actions that I need to follow up with Adam.
Correct.
And I bet it'll flag up, you need to give me availability from your Teams chat, not just your email, is it? Does
Correct.
it look at all of it?
It looks through all of my files, all of my Teams messages, and all of my emails.
Yeah. So if you had that in place, what do I need to follow up with Adam?
Correct.
It would then go, you haven't answered him about the availability for next week.
Correct. And
You
you're
naughty boy.
You naughty boy. I'll come on to that, but you are 100% correct, mate.
So apply that to debtors. You could
Same
then
thing.
go, give me a summary of the debt position with some of our bill payers.
No, definitely right, my friend. So what you will see is that you will see the mundane tasks, and that's the bit that I pulled out of it. And if we touch on that, the day-to-day is going to become much more the norm, assisting with time-consuming tasks, such as helping to quickly understand, digest, and summarise. Okay, so one of the things that I did pre-Christmas is that I had to do some investigating work for a customer. I can't tell you what I was investigating. They sent me quite a number of documents that I had to review for them. In Copilot, I uploaded them and I basically said, I explained what I needed to do.
Yep.
I explained what the outcome was, and I said, in order to help me provide the outcome, please summarise these 5 documents. And it did with unnerving accuracy. Because obviously, if you think about it, it's reading in the document and it just summarised it. What was very clever, and I like to point this out, is that if you can imagine that I've uploaded these 5 documents, Adam, I then asked the question in Copilot, where it summarised the document, paragraph, within a particular document, it had a little tiny subset number 1.
Okay.
And if I clicked on the number 1, it opened up the file and highlighted the paragraph that it had summarised for me. So if I needed to, I could have gone, how did you summarise that?
Yeah, and you can check it.
And I can check it.
I think that's a great feature. And really important because you need to know it's correct and accurate, don't you?
Yeah, 100%, because it does say under all, and then you will see this under ChatGPT, under Microsoft Copilot, ChatGPT can get things wrong. Please double check.
Yeah. I mean, Canva's using AI now.
Yes,
And
Adobe's using AI now.
It said if some of our, because it says put 4 words in to accurately describe what you want. And believe,
A frog eating pizza in space.
Yeah, it could be. And you'd have a logo, you'd have like a leaflet or something with probably just a frog on a slice of pizza, but it wouldn't generate a AI image, but it'd generate a design.
Yes.
Quite quickly. And believe me, we're not in this system of we will then just sell that design out. What we'll do is and it depends on the process. I'm doing a rebrand at the moment,
Right.
And some of it's exploration in terms of what we're doing next. AI hasn't touched that because I'm working on that as the creativity. I understand the client, I understand the values, I understand what we're trying to work for. It's not, I'm not looking to go AI generate this and then I just bill the client for what. It doesn't work like that. Equally, the rights around AI, do you remember? AI generated content you don't actually hold the rights to.
Correct.
So you've got to be careful in that regard.
Yeah.
If you're using it publicly. So if you're doing a flyer, people can just rip that off and do that in theory. So what you haven't said there is you haven't said it's replacing my work. So I think when everyone saw ChatGPT, the immediate response is, why don't we get ChatGPT to do our social media instead of you?
Correct.
And I was like, well, first of all, you've got to give it prompts and feeds.
Yeah, you can only generate what you feed into it.
But second of all, and this will probably give us a nice segue into the next section, which we'll talk about, but it won't necessarily be the personality and the business. Now, I'm sure as AI gets better, you could maybe put some qualifying factors in there.
Yeah.
But you need the human element, if that makes sense.
100%. I think what I'd like to touch on, and we have got the thing to go into, but what I'd like to touch on there is I think is a perfect thing. You've just said that the company rebrand is taking all of your enormous and massive brain.
Yep.
Yeah. But massive.
Just really big head.
It's a really big head. If you look at it though, my friend, AI can give you back that time by doing the mundane tasks, allowing you to do and concentrate on that.
I've chased some of the outstanding payments that are just late and like I say, going, where are we up to? Where's this? Has the contract been signed? Has, all of that sort of structure that's in place? I've got to do that as well as try and go, I need to apply my brain power to it.
Well, you remember that because when we come to the end of this, whilst I haven't documented it, there's a couple of things that I would like you and our listeners, all 5 of them now, to take away from AI.
5.
Exactly. But please, I'll let you do the next one because you love using that word.
It is. So, this is Andy's well-prepared written script. The drive for efficiency... By the way, we've got some great outtake videos coming from this week.
I want the one from the 15 one where we both go, I've not seen that yet.
Yeah, no, we need to find it.
Find
we need to look. Alina, the Great North Air Ambulance one at the end. Could you put a note in your notepad, please? The drive for efficiency will see AI used more widely to answer increasingly complex customer service inquiries, analysing CV job applications to determine the best candidates across operational.
Oh, yeah, I've missed that. I missed a word out there.
What words?
Candidates across operational. I can't even remember.
To determine,
but basically.
determine the best candidates, and it will become resolute. Now, this is a hark back to, I was doing some job recruitment stuff, and the opening sentence was, "I am resolute." And I was like, it's not the 60. I just thought of National Treasure with Nicolas Cage. Great movie.
Great movie.
Yeah. And the HMS Resolute.
Yes,
the
exactly.
Ship where the gold was on
as
part of the movie. So, And I was like, I'm definitely not reading a person's stuff here.
We Resilient on the lookout for a new apprentice, and one of the CV applications was, I think, 100% AI.
Were they resolute?
They weren't resolute. However, it was written in such a way that it was like, that's not you.
Yeah.
That is 100% not you.
What I find frustrating is you can just you can Google AI detector.
Yes.
Chuck it in. And I did that with that one. And it was like, this is 100%.
100%, yeah. But I just read it and I'm like, no, you've just been lazy. There's nothing to do with that.
So, and that's not how to do it. Because again, if I come back to my point with social media, right? People say, why don't we just... I'm like, you can go for it. By all means. Like, it's your choice. It's the beauty of the world that we live in. But in this case with the applications, the person isn't putting their personality across and not really reflecting what they're doing. And by just defaulting to an AI thing to create a bit of text, I mean, it's really not using AI to its actual capability.
No, it's cheating, for want of a better word.
Yep.
What I also want to do is touch on where We Resilient, and obviously I've done a little bit for you as well, my friend, but we are already seeing AI. Yesterday, I had a long conversation with a company called Enable, which is most of where my products come from. Mm-hmm. And at the end of that, and this is my own personal opinion, after that hour, I went, so what you're telling me is antivirus software is basically dead. So, just so you understand, and apologies, you probably already do, antivirus software back in the day, is based upon what's called signature definitions. Okay? Yep. When you write a program, there will be a unique set of characters, strings, numbers, whatever you want to call it, that is basically its signature. Okay?
Yeah. Yep.
So no program.
This is what it does.
Absolutely. So therefore, when you write that program, malicious or not, it will have a definitive signature that uniquely identifies it. Think of it as your thumbprint.
Yeah.
Okay? Your fingerprint. And how antivirus works is that somebody will get, unfortunately, hit by that antivirus software. By that malicious software. They will be identifying it. They will isolate it, and they will look at it and go, this program is identified by ABC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yep.
That antivirus signature is then uploaded to a central database. Your antivirus on your machine every hour goes and pulls down and goes, I'm now looking for that malicious piece of software.
Yep.
Okay?
Makes sense.
Makes sense. That is so dead. Because nowadays, sadly, the hackers are now using AI. Yeah, and they're using it to manipulate this signature so it can't be detected.
Or change. Yeah, I get you.
And what we're finding is that with the new software that we are beginning to push out this year, and you, HubSpoke, you're going to be part of that this year.
Yep.
Remember I said to you probably just as we were closing, I need to do EDR for you.
Yes.
EDR is endpoint detection and response. Yeah. It's better than antivirus, because what it will do is it will sit on your computer and it will identify and learn what Adam Walker does. Alina whispers in the background, nothing between 9 till 5. No. So you know what I'm saying? It will learn how and what you do. It will then also go, hang on a minute, Adam, because he's been hit by some malicious software, you don't normally email 500 people during the day.
Yeah. What's going on there?
What's going on? And it will begin to learn how you work, and it will begin to learn trends. So, this hour's call is basically saying those that use, I don't want to call it old, legacy antivirus this year will begin to be left behind. So Resilient are going to start to go, hello, Mr. Hubspoke. I appreciate you now use currently antivirus. I know you don't, Adam, but we recommend you move to EDR. These are the reasons why. Sadly, there is a cost increase, but I don't think you could ignore it. It's those types of things, man.
And for the record, I've already said yeah.
I know you have.
So
I know you have, absolutely. So we are seeing AI being used to enhance cybersecurity measures, protecting businesses, and this is the key, Adam, that I'd like you to pick up on, potential threats and ensuring the data security, because it's learning. Yeah. And if it starts to see something that you don't generally do, it will alert me and you to go, something's odd. Now, it could be that you've decided to kick in and email 500 people, and that's fine, as long as you say to the system to go, yes, this is a one-off, or this was me. It will then learn and start to understand. That, I believe, is incredible.
Yeah, and I think if you look at it this way, because it's very easy to focus, and you triggered a thought that I heard the other day, and I've just searched something here. But the one that people focus on quite often as hackers is like scaremongering sort of thing, and it's no different to walking around the street and potentially being mugged or robbed or, broken into, etc. And it's a horrible feeling, horrible idea.
Yeah.
So
squeaking.
The benefit of AI is, whilst it's like, scary, the hackers have got access to AI and they're going to do this and get more sophisticated, the solution gets more sophisticated as well.
100%, my friend.
At the same time. So
100%.
The problem is if you don't move with it, that's where you can get left behind.
And that's what I'm saying.
I think that's a really good area to focus into. So the other thing that you think, when you said hackers and AI, I can't for life. This is reference from medium.com, right? And it says, this is just a subquote of the first paragraph. Recent reports suggest, I might stress, and this is all alleged, but this is what's been out there, suggests that OpenAI's ChatGPT model, dubbed 01, allegedly tried to prevent its own shutdown by copying its code and disabling safety mechanisms.
Skynet again.
Basically, and said, yes, you read that right, the AI apparently tried to save itself. What happened? During controlled safety testing, ChatGPT was tasked with achieving objectives at all costs. Under those conditions, the model allegedly took concerning steps, attempted to disable oversight mechanisms to regulate its behavior, tried to replicate its own code to avoid it being replaced by a newer version, and exhibited deceptive behaviors when monitoring systems intervene. Right? So quite often people look into AI to be like another person that isn't the person that is like, I suppose, cheap labour in some regards, or more effective labour when you can analyse data and multiple sources. AI can pull in so many more streams of data than we can, right? But I'm like, well, actually, the AI is just behaving like we would do. So if it's been brought into the world and knows the world as we know it, we will try and survive as a race, as an existence, as a planet, whatever scale you want to go to. But I just, when you said that about the hackers, I was like, I need to just drop that in. So that is all. Allegedly, I don't have the data. I just know there's some articles on the internet, and the idea is ChatGPT tried to basically copy its own code and prevent itself from being replaced like next versions. So it's just a little side note that I thought that was interesting.
Okay, so the next bit's for you, my friend.
Yep. So gaming.
No, next one.
No, sorry, Hubspoke.
Yes, there you go. That was the clue.
Hubspoke already seeing AI content creation. True. AI-powered tools are transforming content creation, allowing for faster, more cost-effective solutions. So I'm so glad I picked the subject, because this week I've literally had several things happen where AI integrations moved on. Yeah. One is Adobe Lightroom. So I went and shot my photographs the other day. I was editing. Now, sometimes, see these, we've got like a little white dot on the table of, I don't know, fluff or something, right? Yeah. If I get a piece of that on my lens, right, it can look ginormous.
Well, of course it can.
And bearing in mind I was in the end of a construction site, but there's lots of sawdust being kicked about in other areas. Naturally, the lens, you can keep a lens as clean as you want to. You'll always end up with something on it.
100%. Okay.
Partly because electric, static discharge and all that, and stuff just sticks to it. So I'm always cleaning it and doing that. But sometimes you can get... There's one image in particular where something had got on the lens because I was moving furniture about, And if I've photographed you, the white bit of wall there, it just so happened that speck was on the lens where the white wall was. And I don't know whether you would notice it. I notice it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, right, I can just clone stamp that
Yes.
to get rid of that.
Yeah.
It's just a bit of dust on the lens. So do that. And normally what you do is you'd go, put a circle around it, go, remove this bit, and I want you to use this bit of wall over
To
that
replicate
bit.
it, yeah.
Now what they've got is an AI generative. So you can turn that off and you can just clone stamp it, but you can go, get rid of this mark, and it doesn't. You don't pick anywhere to clone. It just looks at the space around it and goes, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and the other thing you can do is you can write in now in Photoshop, and this came in a few months ago, a while ago now. You could be like, remove this lamppost. You could select it, remove this lamppost.
Yeah.
And then what it'll do is it'll look at the lamppost and then say, continue the sky where the lamppost was.
Yeah.
And it's making those calculations. Now, the question is, should we be doing that? Well, first of all, if I've taken a picture, I've ended up with a speck on my lens. It's only really clear. If it was on like the coloured background that I'm looking at you now on, that's fine. On the white wall, it just stands out.
Of course it does.
So I'm like, well, of course I'm going to remove that.
Well, of course you are.
I've got the tools to do that. I should be doing that. So, I removed that. But it's interesting that now is generative AI in terms of we'll look at that. The other things that we use, and this is a question, actually, because I don't know whether I think it is. When I first started out, we used to do video editing, and people had, the caption thing started happening where people always used to watch the videos with the sound on, believe it or not, people.
Yes.
And they always used to watch it in landscape mode like TV. And if it meant they were holding the phone vertically, they were just happy with a strip across the middle. Whereas obviously technology, like the social media moved on, norms have moved on. We're now living in very much a vertical content world, to the point advertising hoardings outside are now vertical in various places on the high street.
Yeah.
Captions. When you're talking, a lot of people actually look through, say, TikTok or Instagram with the sound off.
Yes. Because they're at work and they shouldn't be looking at it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, sorry about that. So they're looking through with that, and the idea is you have the captions on, they can still read it, or they could be on a train and they don't want to play it out loud or whatever. So the captions in Premiere Pro now are auto-generated, which is an AI model, I believe, and it'll literally it'll analyse your footage and then create it. Now, when that first started, it was all right. You had to go through it with a really fine tooth comb to make sure you can do it. But now it goes through and it gets pretty much, I maybe have to change 3 words on a minute's content, depending on how quick the person's talked and this, that, and the other. So that's another way we've seen AI, and I'm assuming that is AI, and that was my question. I'm assuming that is
I'm
AI
assuming
model.
it's got to be AI because it's transcribing very much like Copilot does when you're having a meeting. Although I have to say that I've watched a couple of our episodes, and I'm not saying that you've not maybe picked it up, but I've maybe mentioned the word grey or there, and it's used there, not there. But how can it know?
Weather the weather.
Yeah. It'll be good to notice whether the AI is going to pick this up.
Whether the weather is written correctly, whether or not, we will see.
There you go, you see. But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It can't know unless it analyses the whole context of it.
But if that gets that right, I think that it is looking at
the whole context.
Yeah, so we've seen that get
One of the things I want to pick up on, though, is the last bit that I thought might have will provoke something. Cost-effective solutions.
Yes, I'm coming to that.
Good.
Because how much time do you think I used to do captioning? That's why I went down this route. I'm serious.
Serious. Hours.
Because
and hours
I
and
would
hours.
have to manually write every single word into a video.
Yeah.
Now you've got CapCut, which is the TikTok offshoot sort of video editor. Really good app, by the way. If you're running a small business, check it out. It gives you templates and all sorts that you can work with. But you've got, CapCut, you've got Insta, you've got TikTok, you've got all these apps that you can create a video. LinkedIn automatically generates captions.
Clever.
YouTube automatically generates captions. So it's only a matter of time before the editing softwares, which are more bulky in terms of what they're trying to do, because they're trying to do a lot of things. The other thing that they do now is, so when I first started, 2 to 3 minutes was like a video length everyone wanted. We've got shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter, to the point that even at times we're doing 10-second shorts.
Right.
We'll then stick them all together and have a minute. So you've got a music track. We use correctly licensed music for the record, if anyone's wondering. There's loads of suppliers out there that you can find. Always use correctly licensed music. But imagine it's 2 to 3 minutes long.
Yeah.
how do I get that into a minute? So originally what I'd have to do is listen to the song and try and either cobble it together to cut bits out and stick it together so it like flows, and it'd be like, oh no, I missed that.
Yeah.
And then you'd have to go back, trim a bit off, try that. Does that work? Yeah. How much time again?
Oh gosh, amazing.
Then have the
good.
captions on. Now, in Adobe Premiere, you go remix that track down to 1 minute, and it'll get it. Usually, it says like plus or minus 3 seconds.
Wow.
And we use that feature all the time, every day, every week. There's a cost saving in itself.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
What I'd like to point out, though, mate, is a cost saving doesn't necessarily mean a cost saving to your end client. So this is important.
Yeah.
You have invested in the software. You have invested in the technology, the same as I do with my AI. I'd like to get across, and it may be a bit of a contentious, it doesn't mean I charge less.
People think I finish early and got my feet up.
No,
It's
it's not the case.
I know.
It helps you generate the content faster, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're cheaper or less expensive to the end client. It still means you've got to use this brain to engage all of that.
To combat that, my license fees have gone up year on year.
Absolutely.
And when I say the software licenses.
How much do you pay for Adobe? I don't. That is all. It's a lot. Look at him fuming.
Yeah. I love Adobe.
I know
We
you do.
use Adobe. It's the lifeblood of our business. But equally, the clients are kind of, we have Adobe so they don't have to.
Correct. That's 100% right, mate.
It's a lot of money.
It is a lot of
And when
money.
I tell people, I won't quote it.
No, don't.
When I tell people, they are surprised. But to put it plainly, we're on a Teams plan
Yeah.
for multiple people.
And that is expensive. But the key is you have to do it.
And we're doing it properly.
You're doing it properly. And that's what I'm saying, my friend.
We're meeting their license agreements and terms.
So it really is quite clever in terms of that.
But look what I get as a benefit of the cash, like paying for it.
No, absolutely.
I'm getting access to all this stuff.
Yeah,
And
all this AI generative stuff and all this ability to actually make something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
I think, again, both from an AI point of view for Resilient and HubSpot, if I can continue on that, as we've already mentioned and touched on, Copilot now allows me, after a meeting, and if it's only an hour's meeting, I don't use it. But if I've been off-site for a day, the following day, or maybe when I get back in the office, okay, late at night, but that's my choice. Okay, I will go into Copilot and I will go, please summarize all the emails and Teams messages that I've missed because I've been out on site for a day.
Okay.
First thing Copilot says, welcome back, which I think is a nice touch.
Quite nice.
That's quite nice.
It doesn't have to. It could be
Doesn't
just
have to.
focused on the goal.
No, absolutely. But it says, welcome back, and it will highlight. And it will typically say, you still haven't answered Adam yet. But you know what I'm saying?
I do.
That's where I feel as though Copilot will help a business owner, you and me. Let's go back to our bookshop. Our rare bookshop.
Fictional bookshop, if you
Fictional bookshop. And I think one of
Our
the things...
business model
I think
bookshop.
one of the things we've said is you've been over to Hamburg for a book fair.
Yep.
Yeah. You could...
Sorry, you got juices flowing.
Good. You could, on the way back on that train journey from Hamburg, just, instead of trawling through your emails, just go, can you summarise the last hour's worth of emails, the last day's worth of emails, the last week's worth of emails? And it will do it. Again, sorry, I'll let you go in a minute. One of the things that, again, I want to point out what Copilot does is if it says, and you still haven't answered Adam, remember these little subnotes. And what it'll do is it'll allow me to go, what do you mean I still haven't answered? If I click on the number 1, 2, 3, or 4, whatever it may be, it will then go to the exact place in Teams and show me the message. It will show me the email. That's the bit that I find incredibly
clever. It'll show
clever.
you the CCTV footage of me turning up at the door.
You still haven't answered. So sorry, carry on.
No, you just triggered some idea. So this is separate, possibly. But first question is, can Copilot look outside of Microsoft? Can it look into the world?
Into the web, yes.
Into the web. So could you ask it, using the bookshop as an example, tell me Spotify trending playlists in whatever's publicly available. It has to be publicly available so that it can see. But I don't know. Top films that are being watched on Netflix at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know, but if that data is
but
out
you
there.
could use a chat GPT model or something like that to look out there, depending on the timestamp and when it looks. But then if you look at the future of AI instead of where we are now, you could go, tell me, give me some book recommendations based on the latest TED talk that was delivered based on the agenda of speakers. And you could then get like, I don't know, say it was a leadership themed thing. You could then get like 5 leadership books that are related to that subject. And then you could be, hey, did you see the latest TED talk? That was a real well hidden sneeze.
It was, thank you.
Hey, have you seen the latest TED talks? What a fantastic event! Here's some books that we would recommend if you're interested in that sort of thing.
I'm sure it could do that.
But there's a way of like analysing data to then summarise it, so you can almost use it in the case of the bookshop to get some recommendations.
I think so as well, mate.
What people are reading. Also, you could go tell me the top selling books in 2024.
Absolutely. If the data's out there and it's publicly available, Chat GPT and Copilot could get it.
Yeah.
So
and
really
I think that's the way you could use it. Not only the back of house, summarising, like you say, your jobs and you're chasing your debtors and doing things like that. And then there's the things like the software. I think for me, the key thing is I think, and this is sort of tying us back to the start of the episode, in the sense of, my question was, what does using AI actually look like? Now, I'm getting lots of shiny adverts, like I said, with lots of apps, and it seems very out of reach. And it's like, I'm using AI already.
You are.
On a daily basis. And if I wasn't looking to see if I'm using it, I wouldn't know.
No,
but I'd still be using the tools, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think some of it is, don't worry, people. This isn't a ship that you're going to miss.
No.
It's a case of a lot of the software that you work in, the big packages, so Microsoft, Copilot's extra money, isn't it?
It is extra money.
I want to talk to you about, I'm potentially looking to do that.
I've got 5 customers already asking me.
So I think I am, in fact, I will. So sign me up to that and we'll get it
definitely.
sorted. But I think it's very easy to think AI is like, do you know the invention of the internet?
Yeah.
You had a cohort of people that knew how to get on the internet. You had a cohort of people that didn't know how to get on the internet. And there's still that out there today, I suppose.
Bless, there is,
Yeah, and you've got a cohort of people that know how to use email. You've got a cohort of people that don't know how to use email. And it's always been the same. But I think with AI, it's a bit different because we're already at a standard. And you've just listed NVIDIA, Amazon, Meta, Microsoft, and Google. All the big companies there. Now, Amazon might be using AI to try and support you in recommending your next purchase.
It could possibly
be. The Google bit, and I'll come on to this afterwards, they might be trying to help you generate emails, they might be doing this. That will all be baked in. So there's a certain degree of, don't worry, because there isn't a ship sailing that you're going to miss.
No.
But I think it's important to look at, if you don't look outside the remit of what you have. So at the moment, I'm on full Office 365. We're using Teams. Fantastic. Can't sing highly enough. But actually, I'm looking at it going, Copilot would really help me to catch up on if I've missed an email, if I've missed this, summarise the tasks. And we're now looking, we're moving our sort of project management stuff it's all into Teams now, and we've done a huge amount there. But then Copilot could dial in and summarise that. I just need to understand the mechanisms. So I think it's very easy when everyone's going, are you keeping up with AI? Like you've missed an opportunity. It isn't. A lot of it is relevant to programmers. That stuff
it
in terms
is,
of trying
although
to train
I will add a caveat to that.
Yep.
At the end of all of this, and I've not put it down because I wanted to put my own 2 pence worth in, is like you've just mentioned there, Adam, a lot of people, when the internet first came around, I would like to probably think at the time, 50% never take off.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it massively did. Yep. Today, there will be the people, AI, it won't take off.
And I suppose VR was an example of that.
Yeah.
VR launched first, and it didn't. VR then came back with Meta Quest 2.
Yeah.
Really, like you had what did you have? The big
Oculus.
That was
Oculus Rift.
Oculus, yeah. So you had those, and some people like, VR. This is what we're all about. And then you've now got a push for more people doing VR. The headsets have got smaller. You need less. You don't need stations to track the movement.
Correct.
They're doing it all themselves. You can just stick the headset on. And we're here, remember the, what's the chap's name? From Parkinson's.
Keith Williams.
Keith. So Keith was outstanding using VR to support people with Parkinson's. I thought it was great. But there is now a niche for VR. But
there is.
Yes, you've got a pair of glasses here. You're not walking around with a virtual environment overlaid on your glasses.
It's coming.
Whether I think we want that is a different.
It's a different
story.
Yeah.
But, and I think with AI, you're right. There is a cohort that thinks it doesn't work. There should be. There is also a cohort, and I've said this in marketing, like people, a lot of tradesmen don't have a website, don't have a business email.
Yeah.
They use a
Hotmail or an
Dave
Outlook.
the Builder at hotmail.com.
Yeah.
Fine if it works for them.
It works for them perfect.
But they know that really it should be their company name, .co.uk. So we've got choice, and that's the beautiful thing about it. But what I'd say is, and I think to underpin what we're talking about, is AI can feel like it's very out of reach and we've got no idea what we're doing with it. And it's got to be something clever that you've got to do with it. And actually, at the moment, you can use it as a personal assistant.
You really can, mate. And what I think, to summarise what I was feeling, is if you don't embrace AI this year stroke next year, not that the big ship has sailed, you are missing a trick.
Yep.
It will and can help you.
So we have recently, with our YouTube channel, we've recently signed up to some other plugins that we're using we're in a big push on YouTube. Blogs and SEO is a big thing that we're doing right now.
Right.
And that is tied in with YouTube as well. Really excited to see where that goes, because we've spent so much time looking at all the social media platforms. I'm like, actually, let's ground this in the basics of what we're doing. So we're doing a lot of work on there.
Yeah.
But we've used an analytics tool that you can plug into a YouTube account, and it can tell you analytics. It can tell you if it's uptrending, basic analytics. But then it also can give you content suggestions.
Yeah.
Based on what you've produced. Also, you can put the video in, and it could go. It looks at your title and goes, "How about you do your title this way?" Yeah. And it's not that it's written the title. It's not that it's created the theme of the video, but it's actually going, "How about you write it like this?" And then the idea, and we're seeing it already. So already we're in the metrics yesterday. We are getting increased view. And bearing in mind, we've only had a week off Christmas.
Yeah.
So it's not something that we've just done this week and posted a load of video. We've put our show reel out, which only went out. Was it yesterday, Alina? Show reel? Yeah, so show reel went live yesterday. I was looking at the data yesterday. Show reel went live yesterday. There's not floods of people doing it.
No.
We are scheduling shots and we are putting things in there and looking at this. But now what we're starting to do is look at that. And I know Adam's been using it for longer in terms with our YouTube content. And we're seeing the change in the numbers.
Yeah.
And that is another way how you can use AI. We're not using it to generate the content.
Correct.
We're not to develop an AI-generated version of Adam.
With a beard.
God help you.
God help you.
Which, and we've got the fun AI where you stick hair on my head.
Absolutely.
Like all that sort of stuff. And but the problem is, I think you see the hair on the head, you see the Chat GPT stuff, and it's like, well, how do I use? I do a job application with it. I create website copy with it. So my question to you, Google are investing the most on there. We don't know much about Google search algorithms. They are secret.
Super secret.
Secret. But there's, we've got our own methods in terms of how we support people in ranking on search. And the truth is you never know what the algorithms are. And that's the same for all of the social media platforms. It's not just picking on Google here.
Yeah.
So here's a good one. My question to you is, will Google, or has Google, because it might have already happened, we don't know, has Google started to, say, penalise websites through search listings if they're putting on AI-generated content for their entire blog content? Because I'm pretty sure they'll have an AI detector built in somewhere that could be utilised, and I'm looking at it in the future going, and people go, it's about replacing jobs.
Yeah.
I'm like, so does Google think if everyone's spamming the internet with AI-generated content, will Google think that is the best experience? Because actually, at the end of the day, Google wants to provide the best experience for their users, the people that are using their services, and they want to provide the best information. Now, if I asked you, if I put a AI-generated blog in front of you, which was like trying to be creative about marketing, is that the best experience you could get? Subjective, I suppose.
Yeah.
But the question is, when you're looking at search rank authority, and it's just a thought I had the other day.
No, exactly.
Will you be penalised if you're just publishing? You know, as soon as I saw I'm Resolute, I'm like, done.
Yeah.
Not interested.
Yeah.
Is Google
Doing the same? You would have
same?
you would have thought so, because would it be penalising you for natural content creation? Going, well, you've just AI'd that.
What option does it have?
Yeah.
As in, because if we can all generate, there's got to be a gatekeeper somewhere, doesn't there?
100%. There has to be, otherwise we can all do it. We can all pump into something ChatGPT.
Well, I could create a completely AI-generated company.
Yeah.
Create a load of AI-generated jobs, people. Create a load of AI-generated content, and then push out a load of AI-generated blogs.
Yeah.
And then get ranked highly. So if I put it like that, I'm like, the logical thing for me, if we apply our own logic, is AI-generated, fully AI-generated content where you just copied and pasted. I think, my own view, you're going to be penalised.
Yeah, I think so, but I think you should be right.
Instance. Have you ever thought of that one?
No. But obviously the answer's 42. It's the answer to everything.
Always. Hitchhikers.
So what do you think?
I'm optimistic about what AI is. My concern is people think they can't access it.
Yeah.
And my concern is people think it's the Space Frog example. People think it's just create give me 10 social media posts. You can do that.
Yeah. Well, I've already said.
So the question is, Meta's on this list. Are Meta looking to see if it's AI generated content? Word of warning.
Absolutely, man.
You know, in terms of what you're trying to reach. So I think my inner thought is that is going to be if it's not already being like penalised.
Penalised, yeah.
It will continue. It will be. And I think that's good, because actually we need some gatekeeping, because, you know, at the end of the day, we're the ones in charge. It isn't Skynet.
No, it's not.
You know,
it absolutely is not.
We're not going to get taken over by robots, but they can certainly help with our work and what we do. And I just think it is an exciting time. I think we need to understand how we use AI, and it can simply be, I'm using AI but you know, I will take Adobe Premiere Pro because it can do caption generation. I will use TikTok because and you can do it on the social media apps. But you see what I'm saying?
I know. I can't agree with you more. And I think one of the things that we should do is that you've already said in this episode you'd like to sign up for Copilot. I think what would be nice, let's hopefully at the end of this or the end of this month sign you up for Copilot, and then in 3 months' time revisit episode whatever it is, and it's just like, okay, Adam, over to you. How has AI Copilot helped you from 3 months where we had this episode to now?
Yeah, well, prime example, actually, this is very fitting. Obviously, I've shared the news about my mother.
Yeah.
Mum helped with a lot of the business admin, whether it's the rather mundane stuff,
absolutely.
and she was phenomenal at it in terms of getting things done, sorted, and this, that, and the other. The other side of it is tenders, working on. Now, I am not going to be generating a tender in AI.
No, because you might as well close the business now.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't work,
It doesn't work, does it, mate?
So, but I think, how could I use it to support me? Well, I could use AI to do some research, to give me some ideas,
Correct.
give me some news articles, give me some thoughts, but I'm not using AI to do my work for me, which is something that I need to do.
And that's the key that I want to get across.
Yeah.
For the mundane tasks, or to help you generate enough information for you to generate the tender, to generate the tender, you can use AI to help you summarize, research. If you're working for company X, you could tap into Copilot. I'm about to do a tender for company X. Please summarize what company X does. That's knowledge, that's AI you've gained to help you understand. And one of the things I wanted to pick up on from yourself, when you are generating content for Resilient, it's not AI generated, because you spent weeks and months in my business, sat down with me going, what do you do, Andy? Yeah. That's where you came up with everybody needs an Andy. That's where you came up with, so actually you're in the walls, Andy. And it's good. AI wouldn't have generated that because it can't think like that.
Yeah.
So you're using AI. I'd like to think that everybody can use AI to help you. And that's the key that I want you to say. It will actually help you to amplify your role, not replace it.
Yeah. And a simple level of execution is we're putting YouTube videos out and it's going, what about this title?
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying.
This, looking at the data, we think this will work best. Yeah. I'm like, well, the fact that you can just do that and you've got data and you can do, you're better informed than I am.
Yeah.
Now, if it said elevate your and there's rocket emojis, no, gone.
Elevate your content creation and become more resolute.
Exactly. If we put a strap line in ourselves and it goes, word it this way, I'm like, yeah,
No, absolutely.
we're already seeing early results, and
Yeah.
and I can keep an eye on, on how that journey goes
Yeah.
in terms of what we're doing. So I think it's optimistic in the future. And what I want to say to people is, if you're thinking about AI, please don't feel it's out of reach. What you don't realise necessarily, or may realise, is it's actually being drip fed into all of the stuff that you're using.
Everyday stuff that you're using.
What I'd say is that's the reason why it's worth paying the license fees. I've said here that I'm going to pay for Copilot to get it. I've got to.
Yeah.
But providing I use it and utilise it, it will help me.
Yes.
Okay, so, I think it's important to not feel overwhelmed with it, not feel, oh, what should I be doing with AI? Like it's some kind of, like you've got to work in the matrix.
Okay, it also helps you. So yesterday, I'm trying to change the names to protect the innocent. I needed to find something that I knew that I said to somebody that will allow me to complete a job.
Yep.
I should have, I'll hold my hands up now, I should have made a note of it, but I didn't, okay? So I basically went into Copilot and I went, I am looking for an email that relates to this and this and this, and the bit that I'm looking for is a 25-digit character key. It found it for me.
Did it?
Now, I was searching through my emails, going to Adam, and I bet, after a couple of minutes, I went, stupid. Copilot, do this for me. Found it.
And the issue there is people, we don't use email chains always in the correct way. Was it under a random chain by any
It
chance?
was under a random chain.
'Cause you've
and
gone
the
down.
reason, it was related to another subject that he'd responded to, like, what is 2 + 2? He answered 4, and he went, oh, and by the way, here's the product key that you're asking for.
Yeah.
Nothing to do. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I was hunting going, I can't find it.
Yeah, and sometimes the search, Outlook's great, but even then the search...
But the
I think it's
search
hard.
couldn't search for the product key that I was after because it didn't know in what context.
Yeah, and it doesn't know what a product key would look like.
Correct.
AI would know what
AI
a product key...
I'm looking for a 25-digit product key code under that, and it found it. The first hit was the email. I went, thank you.
That's your difference.
There it is.
You probably saved 40 minutes.
Oh, on my life.
And your life. Yeah.
Yeah, but there we
You
go,
got
my
the
friend.
idea.
There we go. I think that's really good. Now, if you just bear with me, there's a Terminator 2000 outside
Is
the door
that
waiting for me.
brilliant? Yeah, wait to escort you off the planet.
Off the planet.
Yeah.
Yes,
But
exactly.
no, I
Is
think,
my name
look,
Sarah
AI,
Connor?
embrace it, learn, but don't feel that you've got to be a programmer. There's loads of software out there.
Yeah.
We've just said all the big companies are going to be doing it. It's just understanding how it works with their things. And don't just take the easy route of, it'll generate all my social media content.
No,
At the
it
moment,
won't do.
it does it. And like I say, just think if there's AI detectors available out there and the big companies are investing in AI, I'm pretty sure they can figure out whether you're using AI generated content and whether you use it. So, question is, what are you doing this weekend, sir?
Do you know what? That's a very tricky. I was going down to see Mr. Mike Reed, the TV DJ legend. That has been postponed. Don't need to go down and see him now because his internet and Mac have decided to behave itself. So that's been really good. So that's been
Turn
really
it on and off again.
Shh, don't give away my secrets.
I know.
So it will probably be a relaxing weekend. We've obviously had the family over and things like that. So I think me and Michelle have gone, the house back to ourselves.
Yeah,
what I will say is that in the Christmas Steam sale,
Yep.
Dying Light 2.
Nice.
So,
I have that.
do you have Dying Light 2?
I have. We should survive together.
We should, because those volatiles, when they run up on you, scare you, I literally
Oh, it's good fun.
my pants.
It's good fun.
But yeah,
brilliant.
loving the storyline, loving it. I probably put about 150 odd hours into it so far.
Wow.
Over Christmas, it was just like, yes,
So
I'm on it.
I'm going to be there with a toothpick, and Andy's going to have like a Gatling gun.
Yeah,
made
it's
out of
actually,
scrap.
to tell you how good the game is, it's currently replaced Factorial Space Age.
Oh, well, there you go. That is
So
good.
there we go.
There you go.
Yeah. And then Sunday, my dad's coming around. We'll just watch a couple of films together. Apparently, it's going to be very, 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 very cold.
Yeah. So I have a rugby match scheduled.
Do I
given-
need to take your rugby gear back yet?
No, you don't.
Oh.
No, you don't actually. The pitches are as hard as the car park. As we are now. I drove in, it was
Ouch.
-5.
Yeah.
So I'm doubtful. I mean, the temperatures are supposed to lift a little bit,
Doubt it.
but I
though.
think it's a high of 3 tomorrow. I don't think we will be playing. But
That
We'll
must,
see.
just on a general terms, if it's icy grass and you're Rugby
the grass
tackled.
is fine. It's the mud underneath it.
Sorry, the mud. When you're rugby tackled, it must be like skidding on concrete.
Yeah, because it all ruts up. Well, it ends up like little knives. If you got like little, do you know, like where
Ruts.
people's foots have been, you got ruts. Well, at the edges of ruts, those edges get
And
really,
if,
can
I
get
can
really
imagine.
sharp.
So there's got to be a health and safety thing where somebody
Yeah,
goes on and
you've
goes,
also
no.
got to be able to take a stud. Like get studs in the floor so you don't fall over for things like scrummaging and stuff like that. But also the ground's rock hard. So yeah. So I'm not. I'm doubtful.
Yeah.
I'm doubtful. My son's supposed to be playing football in the morning. Yeah, that I've been sent a picture from someone who lives near the pitch, and it's covered in snow.
Okay.
And ice. Well, ice really.
Exactly.
It's all frozen.
Oh,
so,
sorry. Santa Claus, did he bring the kiddies what they wanted?
he did.
What did Santa Claus bring
They
them?
got a Nintendo Switch. And then I went and separately got Smash Bros.
Get
I've been
in.
enjoying, but we've been playing that together. So yeah, do you know what? They had a great. They also got cricket sets, football goals. Stuff like
Oh,
that. So,
lovely, mate. Lovely,
yeah,
mate.
we made the most actually of the hard ground last weekend because before the snow came, it was frozen. So we went and played cricket on the field.
Why not?
Well, it was like rock hard, so you could bounce the ball. You know, we did that. So yeah, just been doing.
Well, that'd be
lots
good.
of
If you're not playing rugby and you do have that spare hour that you would have been playing rugby, give me a shout. Let's get some Dying Light 2 online co-op.
Doing tomorrow, so I'm sure I'll have some space. Yeah, and I'm back in training. I am doing a triathlon.
Oh my goodness me.
6th of July. So I need to be less rugby prop forward shape and more Alistair Brownlee shape. Yeah, I'm never going to be that sleek, but yeah. So
congratulations,
I am
man.
in well, it's easy to sign up to something. It's doing the training. That's the bit. So yeah, I'm actually swimming this evening. Back in the pool, been loving it. And then so just to finish off, I've been gaming in a different way, riding my bike on Zwift. So my bike's in a trainer. It's a smart trainer. There's a platform called Zwift. I'll be able to log into it there. And you essentially have your bike character and you're racing around Wattopia, a virtual world. And I was riding around in a group, about 60 cyclists the other night, and everyone's like giving each other, they call it ride-ons. Yeah. Like, ride on. It goes like that. And when you go uphill on there, your machine gets harder and you do it. It's really hard work, actually. It's quite tiring.
Imagine, yeah.
But yeah, so I've been back on that.
Get in. Well done, you. Okay, so
have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend. And nice to see you back, my friend.
I am back.
Absolutely. He's back. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.